So the episode opens at Tag's Boutiques with Kalma and Candy. And then Phaedra come over with some cheap beaded sandals. Phaedra love to have that foot out. She gonna bring a I'm sorry cake for the ridiculous incident. But shouldn't you be bringing that to Heifer Joyce? She's the one who was offended. Candy was drooling. Drooling and enjoying. Oh my goodness, they talking about ridiculous. They said that needs to be in Ripley's Believe It or Not. Like that was an actual art museum. An actual institution. Oh goodness. Now Candy upset that Nene left without saying goodbye. You really want to feel her hot breath on you as she yells, "Goodbye, Candy!" I'm good without a goodbye from Nene, and I'm even better without a hello from her. And we get the iconic Phaedra line, "You showed your cervix for a quarter." Well, now you out here slinging yours for free, Phaedra Braxton. So Nene's going to host Peter's grand opening, and they say Peter's a hustler. He can make $1 out of 15 cents because all he's ever had was 15 cents. It's a real skill. But if he can make $1 out of 15 cents, then why can't he keep his restaurants open? No, he's just able to keep getting his credit score up because he knocks all his debt off by saying it was fraud. Oh, goodness. Now we got Cynthia with her first public speaking job. She's the MC of a Atlanta fashion show. And from the fashion I've seen in Atlanta, ain't much to show. No real reason for a runway. But go ahead, Cynthia. Let's watch you mess it up. Cynthia said, "I'm excited for the girls to see me in my element." Speaking ain't your element, Heifer. I mean, you fine in the confessionals, but oof, I remember this episode and how bad you did. Beyonce's element isn't speaking either, it's singing. I don't really know what your element is, because you ain't shady, you ain't interesting. I guess you're, just the normal one on this show. Well, not normal, the whiny one. Yeah, I guess you can whine. Whining is your element. Oh, goodness. She said, "I'm used to wearing the garments, not talking about them." Literally, you make a mistake and you're going to address it? You're going to let them know, look, it's going to be like this all night. I'm not really used to talking and reading. Cow, like I remember, she messed every other dress up. So we at the after party and Sheree with the only man that will really deal with her, Lawrence. Oh, and this is the entrance of Marlo/Hampton. Oh my goodness, Phaedra called them a power couple. Power? I'm surprised Marlo can keep the power on, but she's been siphoning electricity off her neighbors for years. They've been wondering why their bill is always a little bit higher than it should be. I'll tell you how she does it. You see, she got the house behind her and her two next door neighbors, so that way it's not all on one house. When you split it up amongst three, you just think you leaving a couple extra lights on. That's all it is. Old stealing heifer. So after Marlo says, hey, Phaedra says, Charles Grant was supposedly the guy that Nene was with. And I could see them being together because they have matching backs. So they've got something in common. They could talk about, what it's like to wear an extra large. And Sheree's like, ooh, and that was during I have never done you wrong. Sheree, why you all up in Nene's merge? Your husband surely wasn't all up in yours. Oh, Lord, we're at the Bailey Agency? Why? I mean, that was one of the shortest-lived plotline businesses we have ever seen. She just rented that office to have someplace to go. And she gonna use the chandelier from Uptown. That's why the Bailey Agency didn't go anywhere. You use the chandelier from Uptown, you're gonna bring that Uptown Penelope Thomas Bailey failure energy into your new business. You're gonna bring a symbol of failure, a symbol of neglect, a symbol of bad business. You're gonna bring that mismanagement moniker into your new office? Well, I knew you weren't very bright. So Cynthia's like, how much time you gonna have to help me get this thing going? And she's like, I'm gonna help you. Is you gonna keep it professional? I don't want your help with the stank face. Look, you my sister, so I'm gonna help you, okay, heifer? But I'm sick of you with Peter. And she was looking around at this waste of a rented office going, she going back to being broke. Cynthia said, well, girl, you seem more concerned about my marriage than your marriage, and we saw how her marriage turned out on Iyanla. But she's more concerned about your money because Mal gets paid by Cynthia. So if Cynthia goes broke, Mal goes broker. And she was planning on leaving her husband and was getting her little nest egg together. And she's like, look, if you let Penelope Thomas tank the boat, we're both sunk. Cynthia like, well, now that we talking about bar one, Peter having some problems, you know he got an investor and they check bounced. Mel said, check bounce? Check bounce? What kind of investors he got with bouncing checks? Cynthia, how are you having flashbacks when you ain't got out of the poverty yet? You can't have a flashback to a poverty moment with Uptown when you're still in a poverty moment with Bar 1. And the truth is, Bar 1 was always Bar .1 because it never got off the ground. Cynthia like, well, maybe I can help him out for a couple days just so he can have a preview. If he can't get it together by himself, why does he need to preview your work and your money? That's my question to you, Cynthia. If he's in the bar business and he can't get it together, why do you think you coming in and saving the day will actually help? Because you can't come in and constantly bring business. Well, we get to see that over the next season or two until Bar 1 closes, like Uptown, and like the one in Charlotte, and the one in Miami. Maybe the one in Charlotte's still open, I don't know. I heard it's the size of a postage stamp, though. Maybe he needs a bar kiosk. Or a food truck. I could see him maybe managing a food truck or a kiosk. But I think like a full restaurant, I think that's just too much for him. Remember all that tax debt he had and he was in jail for a weekend? Man, he really lost the bailout when he lost the Bailey and went back to just Penelope Thomas. Child, now Mal crying, Cynthia crying. I'd cry over poverty too. Working all those years as a top model to end up married to Penelope Thomas. Whew, thank God for Mike Hill. All right, now we got Sheree Whitfield begging Bob for child support, even though you're talking about the house that you're building is you all on your own. Sheree said, now Bob, how you been paying your bills? He said the same way you've been paying your bills, the NFL. You got half my retirement and your settlement, that's all the child support you getting half of. He said, my kids have two households, your household and my household. You run yours, I'ma run mine. Bob was like, look, you got $15,000 handbags and brand new cars, so you don't need no money. And I think Bob's like, no, you gonna take this child support and spend it on yourself, because I see how you got them kids dressing. And had Cairo on that air mattress, so heifer. You'd say, hold my calls, I'll be at the malls. He said, I'm not paying you nothing. Then Sheree gonna splash him with her bottle of water that she can't afford because he's not giving her any child support. Zolciak, Grand Lizard Zolciak, mutant best fiends. All right, now we have Nene and Penelope Thomas at Bar 1. And it still ain't done. Oh my goodness, Cynthia saying, oh, Nene's a huge celebrity in Atlanta. She'll help us draw a big crowd to her sneak peek. I guess that's when we really wanted to hobnob with the snooze moose. Cynthia said, you know, Peter, if you need a little money. He's like, no, I don't want to hear Mal's mouth, but I'm glad to know the matrimony means something to you. Oh, goodness. So now we got Phaedra pretending to be a lawyer and Sheree coming in to see her. For what? Phaedra ain't got no skills. Sheree ain't got no money. Y'all ain't got no reason to be meeting. Not in an office, anyway. So now Sheree, who needs more money for Chateau Sheree, her mold-filled edifice, is begging Phaedra for help to get this child support money so she can pay her contractors. Goodness, she ain't gonna pay them contractors. She's just going to try to get her Aston Martin out of repossession. Oh, goodness. She said one of my biggest clients, Bobby Brown, the one that kept going to jail because you couldn't keep him out, always had Whitney stressed out and running to him because you couldn't keep him out of jail. So Phaedra's like, girl, you can get a hearing in 5 days, have his butt put in jail until he purges the coin. Really, Phaedra? I don't think that's how it worked out, but let's stay tuned. Sheree, why are you tearing up? Is it because Phaedra's the best attorney that you can afford? That would make me cry, too. I swear, they just in here dabbing at dry eyes for no reason. She said, I ain't gonna charge you because we gonna make him pay. You know Sheree wasn't gonna give you shit, so you said, why even tell myself that lie, much less the audience? Child, and Bob ain't got nothing for you but dick and bubble gum either. Phaedra said, you got a pit bull on your team. I loved Pete dearly, but Pete was not good at the law, and neither are you. So you're right. You're right. Another scene with Kim, fast forward. Oh, God, now we got Candy and her mama in a tight teeth crying because I thought we could do anything together. I'm your mama first. Candy, your mama do not mind shimmying with you in the strip club. She just don't want everybody to know because it was on camera. But we gonna act like Heifer Joyce ain't got no man and don't get down. But Heifer Joyce be laying it low and spreading it wide. Where else did Candy get it from? The hussy doesn't shimmy far from the tree. Oh my God. And Heifer Joyce gonna say, well, they thought so little of me to have the stripper there. It wasn't your birthday, Heifer. Everything isn't about you. I mean, she was just grinding the glass in Candy's hand. Hopefully your daughter will be more respectful of you than you were to me at that party when Phaedra was the one who brought it in. What was she supposed to do? Jump up on stage, get hit in the face with it, trying to hide it from you? All right, we're at bar 1. And of course, it's an AC-less event in Atlanta. I don't know how in Atlanta, where they need air conditioning darn near year-round, it's always an issue at an event. Or an event, in the words of Letitia. Cynthia showed up looking nice. Nice. Oh, Lord, Charles Grant comes with Marlo. Ooh, and Charles Grant is not cute. He just look ashy. He either too ashy or too shiny. And them little dreads need work. His dreads look sickly. So everybody's at the party. Sheree and Lawrence show up. Everybody's dabbing their face with the napkins because it's hot. And Peter, let's face it, you just cheaped out because you didn't want to pay for the air conditioning. Nene still ain't at the party, and people think it's because she doesn't want to see Charles Grant and the spaces in between his dreads. You know what? These dreads have alopecia. I don't know how you got alopecia and dreads at the same time, but them dreads is just holding on tight to that scalp. But you can just see the shine of the scalp. You gotta let them braids go. So now even late Candy shows up before Nene with Karma in tow. So Peter's like, well, let me go on and unveil this photo of Cynthia. And I like that picture of Cynthia with the big afro. I thought that was cute. So they're asking Charles, why Nene avoiding you? He said, well, I went out with her one time, but she was too into herself. I like a more caring moose, not a preening moose. So Nene finally shows up. Hello, hello. Sheree said, I would have been pissed. Well, Sheree, you should be pissed at Bob Whitfield. You should be pissed at the people that made your samples. You should be pissed at the fact you picked the wrong team. And so Nene gave you this right here. And now you off the show. You should be upset at summer, spring, fall. That's what you should be upset at. Cynthia was definitely not going to confront Nene at Peter's bar opening because she has coof. Something you don't. Oh, God. Now Charles Grant, like, she didn't speak to me, she didn't speak to you, she didn't speak to you, she didn't speak to you. I'm an observer. Well, I wish you could observe the door, because we did not need you on this episode. Oh, Jesus. See, I wouldn't have let Nene show up with her head looking like this. Oh, God, it's dry. It's like the desert. A hair desert. It's the same color. Dirty rock brown. Sheree said Nene gave them 5 minutes because that's what she thought they could afford. All right. Well, we will continue with these classic episodes of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I can't say I miss Sheree, but I miss making fun of her.